back to our channel.
I know. You'll see. So, Avatar. That's the thing.
That's a thing.
And it's now on Netflix, and everyone's rewatching it again.
Isn't it exciting?
But you already rewatched it way before people started rewatching it.
4 months ago.
Do you remember what you thought about the show when it first came out? Deep question. Welcome.
I mean, the first time I watched the show, I really didn't give much thought in the themes and subtext of the TV show. I was mostly focused on was either the journey. It's weird because usually the first episodes are pilots, but with Avatar, the first 2 episodes are actually pilots. Like both episodes could have been one episode.
Right.
And when I watched it, I remember saying like, wow, this show's really funny and fun. Exactly what you expect a Nickelodeon show to be. But then there were hints of the drama in it because they were like, wait, how are you an airbender? I thought airbenders were extinct. And Aang was like, what the fuck? What you mean? And like they were like sweeping everything under the rug. But also the relationship between Aang and
Katara?
Katara, yeah. Tara with a T.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Why is this a debate right now?
No, like I was very invested in their romance. I was very invested. Right. And I was also very invested, even as a kid, the relationship between Zuko and his uncle, because that relationship was just too fucking real.
Definitely.
And me, a grown-ass man, was crying over a cartoon while watching it on Netflix.
Yeah, he helps Korra along the way too. Like he shows up. Like the first time he shows up, me and my sister, we literally screamed because Korra goes back to the spirit world and he finds Pyro in the most subtle yet glowing way.
It reminds me of the episode where they revealed that the actor, the voice actor, died, and he sang that song about his son. It's like, God damn. And he literally said, "I help a lot of people, but I could not help you." And it's like, God damn. Like he admits that he helps everyone, but he was unable to help his own son.
I remember that song, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I can't listen to it.
Most spiritual.
It was ugly tears. I still think about the uncle saying, like, how can you forgive me after everything I did? It's like, aren't you mad at me? I was never mad at you. I was just sad because you were lost. And it's like,
that was intense.
Like, the fuck? Nickelodeon? Only a Nickelodeon 3 p.m. after school. Like, imagine going after school watching that. It's like, oh, okay.
I'm tired. I can't. Like, it's 3 p.m. and I'm already crying. Like, I didn't need this in an afternoon.
Just
on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. I just wanted some fight scenes. I didn't want to see this drama.
The thing is that when we were younger, we were focusing on the fighting scenes, on the chemistry, like immediate right and the immediate left. In this case, it was Katara and Sokka, and that's it. But then when you get older, like there's more chemistry going on in the whole show. When I first saw the show, I was focused. Well, I always had like I was always spiritual, so no, I always had.
Okay.
Time to cancel a YouTube account.
What I think now of the show is just it's completely something else. I can't wait to buy the DVDs. I can't wait to get the collection.
So, the Korra question.
Who?
Is that her?
Yeah. You don't remember her?
I don't.
You don't? One of the things I wanted to ask you was essentially the divide that exists within the Avatar community.
He wanted to ask me specifically this question. A controversial question.
A controversial question. No, I mean, I'm going to say my opinion, obviously. But I wanted to ask that because I literally did not know that there was a divide. Personally, I don't understand I never finished the show, but it was mainly because sometimes, you miss one episode and it's like, well, if you miss one episode, you're fucked. You can't keep watching. So yeah, I never finished it, but I remember like at least watching a few episodes of the first season. I even remember my reaction towards her being attracted to the dude that was like their version of Zuko, I think. And as a kid, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why do they always fall for the bad boy?" Like, that was my reaction.
I mean, it's funny because I also fell for the bad girl, for Azula. Like I loved her, and then I saw a tweet saying, now you know why you're so toxic, or you're
No, no.
attracted."
Now you know why. No, no. Now you know why you're always with toxic women, Anna.
Right. Exactly. Right. It's always a psychological mumbo jumbo, huh?
And my dumbass was always like had a thing with one of her friends, the one that's like really nice and bubbly, the one that literally destroys your chi.
Damn. Yeah. She was one of the
Yeah.
best. She deserved more
Oh yeah,
credit.
for sure. I remember always feeling bad for her because the way like she was recruited was so cruel. Because Azula was literally like trying to ruin her life in the circus just so she could be, well, the universe seems to want me to work with you. I mean, both of them, I mean, obviously the other one was bored as fuck. But as soon as they were recruited, they were kind of scared of her
Yeah.
because that's the only way she even does everything by
It's
threatening
the
everyone.
only way she gets shit done, by manipulating and fear. No, don't
Yeah,
laugh.
sure,
This isn't
you're
a
saying
Scorpio
that.
thing.
Oh no.
No.
See, this is why I didn't agree with the chart you showed me of the signs. Like, oh, really? Like, you're Aang, sure.
Hey, if I were a Scorpio, not implicating myself that I am, and if I were in November, it says Ang, it's a perfect match. It seems legit. Who am I to question it? You know what I mean? For sure.
Scorpio. So I really went off track. The question is like, in your opinion, why do you think there's such a
Don't forget the question. The way I see it, I think there's a divide because obviously there's two generations completely different. The show like hence is exactly what that generation came from. Like they're entitled, they're strong, they are opinionated. It's not bad qualities, but it's what made the
It's
show
different.
Korra great. But it's just different to us. You know what I mean? But I did not appreciate Korra in the younger days. Now I appreciate it, of course, because it's more of us. It's more of our, thinking process.
And it's not forced.
Right, it's not forced.
So you're saying that Korra kind of represents the generation that show was aired in.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I agree that Korra was different than Aang. Like, I would say almost the opposite, kind of. I mean, I always believe that Aang, even though he was sort of humble, he still had his moments where he was very cocky and shit.
Yeah.
And the thing with Korra is that she was mostly cocky as fuck, but for some reason I had no problem with it. It was actually pretty cool.
Right. So it's amazing how, again, the detail of the show is amazing. Nothing compares to this show. And making this show, it was like 2 years maybe. I read something like that. It was just 2 years. And then after those 2 years, they like took another year or 2 years to make the fight scenes and the culture and everything.
I really like how every nation has like similarities to certain countries. I don't know if you know this. When it comes to Star Wars, for example, a lot of times the director would say that the inspiration for the war in Star Wars is the Vietnam War. And with Avatar, I'm not sure if this is just me based on feeling. With Avatar, I feel like when it comes to the Fire Nation trying to like control the world, the culture of the Fire Nation is very similar to the Japanese culture in a certain time, because there was a time that Japan like thought they were like the superior country. And I feel like with the Fire Nation, they're very similar to the Japanese. And when it comes to like the Earthbenders, for example, they're very similar to China. And I find a lot of similarities. And the reason why I think this is because recently I've been watching movies that are about, I mean, they're basically kung fu movies, but they're based on a certain time in history where Japan was literally trying to control China. And you gotta understand, China's like a pretty big ass country, and Japan, a small country, was controlling and succeeding in a certain time in controlling China. And I just find it very interesting how when it comes to the Fire Nation and the Earth Nation and obviously the other nations, I think they might have took inspiration from that point in history. It just seems like they really are into Asian history.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to think about it. When in the series Aang, you remember when they were living inside the Fire Nation, they were like blending in. Aang was literally in a school within the Fire Nation, and the way like the kids were being taught was exactly how the kids in Germany were being taught during World War II, which is like, oh, I forgot the name, but the Fire Nation Lord, whatever, he's God, he's the king, everything, like he pisses gold, shit like that. It's literally exactly how it was in Germany during World War II. You have all these children being taught that this person who's in power is basically a god, and that the only thing you have to learn is stuff about this country and nothing else. Everything else is bullshit. Everything here is what you're supposed to learn about. Very fascist. It's very.
But isn't that
it's,
just basic history everywhere?
Exactly. I just really like that a show that's supposed to be aimed at kids is very thought-provoking in that way. Because when you really think about it, Nickelodeon, before Avatar, there weren't any animated series like that. Well, most were like just comedy shows. Not that they were bad. I mean, I was a fan of Fairly Odd Parents at a certain point. I was a fan of Rugrats, even though I was a grown-ass kid. I was a fan of all those shows. But then when Avatar came along, I was like, oh shit, what channel is this? Nickelodeon. The fuck? But I could tell, like, okay, so this isn't, like, even though I was a kid, I was like, wow, so this is not just a comedy. This is like a drama también also.
Yeah,
so
it was like watching a history lesson. So did you know though that the fighting styles and the fire styles were supposed to be drastically different for Azula and Zuko? So when that moment that came that they had to fight each other, that's why they put Azula with blue fire and Zuko's of course with normal fire.
That was something I never noticed beforehand. When I watch the show now,
that she has blue fire.
No, I noticed that. What I mean is the difference of their fighting style, because obviously both of them are filled with anger. Obviously,
because I didn't.
But what?
I didn't. I didn't. I did not notice she had like blue fire, like until like the last episode. I don't know. I'm super like that, so.
I mean, that's not a problem, but
like at first when I saw the lightning, I was like, "Oh, she has lightning. Oh, wow." But blue fire? No, it's just fire. I didn't notice. And then when I saw both fires, Zuko's and Azula's, like coming together, oh, that's blue and red. She has a different fire. Oh.
What I noticed is the way she fights is, I think, organized anger. Like, she's very precise and cunning.
I wonder what her story became after she got caught. Do you remember that she was spitting fire out of her mouth? She was like broken.
She was having a breakdown.
Yeah, it was really sad, extremely sad. Like it wasn't like satisfying, like oh they got the bad guy. No, it was sad because she was thinking about her mother and the issues and his brother. It was a whole mess. I really felt for her.
I mean, personally, I think I'm more cruel than you because I was literally like,
you fucking yeah.
If I was Zuko, I'd be like, fuck yeah, you got served, you little bitch. Who did mommy love? Not you.
Me.
I mean, I love the fact that they both have issues because, like, both parents were kind of, I wouldn't say cruel.
They were opposite.
But, yeah, they were, like, the mom treated Zuko like he was a prince. But then, like, when it came to her daughter, it's like, yikes. I mean, you're kind of a monster, Zula. Like, get away from me. Yeah. And that traumatized her. You could tell that bothered her. With Zuko is different because obviously he wants his father's approval.
Right.
But I think it's mainly because he wants it because his sister has it. And ironically, I don't know if Azula noticed this, but I don't think her father actually cared or approved of her in any sort of way. He looked at everyone as a pawn. His son, his daughter, his wife. He didn't even give a shit about his own brother.
Wait, you said something that shook me. I did not see it that way. You said that Zuko wants his father approval because his father gives his sister approval. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The way you said it was like way more deeper than what I just said.
I still remember the scene where Zuko's grandfather, and he was like, "Oh, hey, Dad, I want to be Fire Lord. Fuck my brother. I'm gonna kill you now." And then the daughter Azula just watches, and I'm okay. This is a children's show. Cool, I guess.
She was fucking crazy.
Now I remember as a kid being like, "People really like this chick. Like, what?"
Do we like her? Like, what's going on?
I mean, clearly the people that had a crush on her right now are probably in a very toxic relationship with another woman.
Those were fighting words.
I mean, clearly, what's to say about me that the crush I had was either Sokka's sister or the girl that was in the circus. When you really think about it, the girl that was in the circus is very similar. Like, who did you have a crush on in Victorious? Was it Jade, right?
Yeah, and I still do.
And with me, it was with Kat.
And you had a crush on the circus girl?
Yeah.
That's it. We are born to like a certain people and personality. More like we're born to like a certain personality. That's it. Point blank. We just discovered something right now. They should take this video, put it on the psychological book. So
put it on the psychological archives.
Definitely.
Entirely.
Wait, what's the other girls? Now you gotta like search the whole cast now. What's the other girls? The one you said that she was me.
Her name is Mai. One thing I really like about Mai, her being like, I mean, I'm afraid of you, Azula, but I love Zuko more, so fuck you.
That quota is amazing. The thing is that she understood where Zuko stood with her, even though his issues, his family issues overshadowed everything, being him to be in a relationship, and still she stood the landing. She was still like patiently waiting for him. Or I don't know if she even cared though. Like she knew Zuko is Zuko as a family, and Zuko is another Zuko completely.
One thing I really like about her is that she acted like she didn't give a shit, but she actually did. She just acts like she doesn't give a shit because the way she was sort of raised, she kind of started just not caring, so people don't like get too close to her.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think about the episode where they were all in the beach. I don't know if you remember. And they literally just outright said their issues.
Episode that the show became an anime? Yeah, I remember.
Exactly. Literally, no, really, because every anime has a beach episode. Every anime. But instead of doing like a normal beach episode where they're like having fun or whatever, which they were, out of nowhere at night, everyone was just saying their issues. And I remember as a kid being like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this information?
It was like a therapy session. It was a great episode. It was a weird episode, but it was a great episode.
But it was out of nowhere, but it was great.
Right. Maybe when we were younger, when we first watched that episode, we were like, this is the most boring episode ever. But now, when we watched like 4 months ago, I was like, wow, this was an important episode. Like, it was important to happen.
Exactly. If it didn't happen, I don't think we would have cared as much about Azula's friends, because they didn't have a chance to like get their own stories at the front of the show. Welcome back to Charmed.
Why do you want to play with my feelings like that? Damn. Porque when every single millennial Z sees this, they won't even know what it is. So it's fine.
They would know the first background though.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing I can talk about, which I feel like is one of the few things I didn't like about the show, even though the ending was great, I didn't like was how rushed it kind of was.
Really? Why?
I mean, like after the war was done or whatever, we're now like looking at the aftermath of everything. I would have loved if it was a bit longer, I guess. And there were a few questions that for some reason were left unanswered. I kind of wanted Zuko to like have a one-on-one with her after her being imprisoned or something. And also the fact that Zuko went to his dad to ask him where's his mother, insinuating that she might be alive, and we actually never get that question answered.
But it was always implied that she left. She left Zuko. So and I never understood that she was actually dead. And then in Korra, they talk about her in the show. It's
they do.
a little snippet, but they talk about her. They tell you in the most cryptic way. Aang's kids,
Wow, he has a lot of kids.
he does actually. He actually
Damn,
does.
they really
And
got busy.
His grandchildren asks his Aang's kids about stories when Aang was alive, and one of them was excited and asked, "Can you tell me again about Zuko's mom? Does he find closure or something? I don't know, something like that. I've seen Korra once in my life, and when she was about to say the stories, they cut it off. So it gives you like she was alive, and they found her, but they don't give you much.
It's almost like they're hyping it up.
Yeah. I think, like, I don't want anyone to quote me on this, but I think what happened is that when Iroh, his voice actor, he died, they had to be recast, for season 3, and they took a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if before season 3, it was a gap of 2 years or a year. I don't remember. I even stopped watching. Like, I remember I stopped watching the show, and then Zoe 101 hit, and I was like, oh, I'm a teenager. I'm a different path now.
All I care is about going to the dance and dating 2 people at the same time.
Drama thing. I don't want to watch cartoons now. No, but I don't know if they stopped doing the show and they had to pause it or something. Something happened that in between that I stopped watching it. So maybe it was his death and they had to recast him. Maybe that's what happened. Don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and also, thinking now, remember when the fact that Zuko's uncle is part of like some Illuminati, like that was that was like kind of
organization. Yeah, that's true.
That was kind of swept under the rug, like, oh, I'm part of an Illuminati. We influence every nation or whatever behind the scenes, and it's like, okay.
I just think in a whole, the show is it was really early for us, for our generation, I guess, the later generation, maybe our parents or maybe our like big sisters, big brothers or whatever. When they got to the show, it spoke to them in a ways that it spoke to us now, rewatching the show. It's just different and harder because you have nostalgia with us rewatching the show and feeling the same way our big brothers, big sisters, or whatever parents were feeling. So with that two essence meshed, it's something completely else.
You mean the show? You mean the show, right? Not the movie. If the movie,
what are you talking about?
The movie, Avatar, the movie.
The movie. No, I'm talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, not Avatar: The Blue Avatars. No, that's just the only movie. Completely relatable mistake.
I found the award that they won. It's the Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Award.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see. Yeah. Wow, it won the Nickelodeon Award as well.
Who hasn't won a Nickelodeon Award? Are they still doing
Nickelodeon Award
shows?
Oh hell yeah!
Do you think we're gonna meet, or do you think we're gonna be friends in our other lives? Nice to see you again, Twinkle Toes.
I didn't even talk about Toph, and I should have, because out of all of them, she's like top 3 favorite characters of mine. And it's mainly because I relate to her because of the way she was very overprotected or whatever, but really she didn't need to be. She's very similar to Korra in attitude because they're both like pretty cocky and they're both like fucking strong. But with Toph, it's more sympathetic because she literally is handicapped, but it's like she isn't handicapped. Wow, I really think about it. The show, even like in the mid 2000s, it was pretty diverse.
Like I said, the show was ahead of its time. The show now is, getting, a buzz, and people that haven't seen it are seeing it, and the people that forgot about the show are rewatching it. And then there's us that we like the show, and then we're just watching the show because we can. But I think the show is extremely underrated when it first came out.
Most of the episodes I remember, and literally I felt betrayed, I felt sad, I felt everything for the first time.
When Aang got upset for Appa.
It's because they never emphasized the bond between Aang and Appa until that episode. And when they literally through flashbacks said that, the apparently flying bisons and their companion have an unbreakable bond, and it's like obviously
the bison chooses you.
Exactly. Thinking about that episode of him trying to find them was not a good experience. Too sad.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, it's like very anti-animal abuse.
I know. Yeah. It's good because people saw Appa as just a flying animal, like for convenience.
Mhm.
When really it was part of the group. You know, you got Sokka,
Mhm.
you got Katara, you got Aang, but you got fucking Appa. He's part of the fucking
Mhm.
group. So
And don't forget Momo.
I forget Momo all the time.
But Momo, yeah, like Momo, like with Appa, he clearly had a connection with Aang. And it's because of how Aang is very spiritual. He's like Beast Boy from Teen Titans. Like they just have a respect for animals, the same as humans have respect for other humans. He doesn't eat animals. He treats animals like they're people or whatever. Like again, this show is very fucking diverse considering the era it was aired.
Yeah, it's just interesting that this kind of show aired in that sort of time with those beliefs and morals and values.
If it was aired today, it'd be like, wow, this show's very controversial. And it was made by SJWs, stuff like that.
Actually, I think if the show would have would have aired today's like 2020s, it'd be fine because it's not like a show that it doesn't touch any flags, any controversial. It's just really spiritual. It's about chakras. It helps you be a better person. It's about the universe in a sort of way. It's human. It's just now
And it's
Korra
very,
though. Korra is controversial.
oh,
But it's because people make it controversial. When it's in reality, it's not controversial. Like, why would you
okay.
assume that because the girl has power, she's out officially of the community? You know what I mean? It's like, no, you stipulated that. What the fuck? The same people that fight stereotypes are the ones that are giving stereotypes to the show. So, I don't know. It's just.
Wait, what do you mean of the community? Literally talking to you right now is when I realized that my favorite episode is the episode when they watched the play. They literally saw everything that happened in the show on that play. And
Yeah.
when they came back to the death of that guy, they're like, did he die? They were like, well, it was never clear. And it's like, like, what do you even mean? That's the most meta shit I ever saw. That's literally my favorite episode of the show. Like when Katara saw the actress crying, like, oh, and she's like, I'm not a crybaby, am I? Everyone's like,
Well, you know what? I just think that Katara actually carries the show on her back. She can heal. She can fucking whip that water up. Like, she can really whip that water.
yeah,
And
with the war.
what's the other one? She can bloodbend. I mean, Katara didn't rule the world because why?
A lot of times she saved Aang. A lot of times she saved a lot of
Many
people.
times. Katara
No,
did what she had
what
to do, and she did
Legit.
what she had to say.
what's the name of Zuko's dad?
Star-Lord, old guy.
Yeah, like really like how evil he is, but they never like outright explain why the fuck he's the way he is. He just is.
He was fucked up.
I can just imagine him like being born and already going like this.
Maybe the relationship with Zuko's uncle and Zuko's dad is the same
Mhm.
relationship as Azula and Zuko. Zuko was born, with a heart. Azula was just born mean, evil, and it's so
Yeah.
as well,
His parents and his uncle.
I really don't think they were born that way. I think they're both example of the concept of nature versus nurture, because literally Azula was raised by her dad, like 100%, and barely had any connection with the mother or whatever, while Zuko was the exact opposite. He literally was raised by his mother. His mother was his everything, and the dad, or he sees everyone as a pawn. So when he saw that Azula had the potential to be an important tool for his world domination, he was like, yep, I'm going to take her under my wing. I'm going to train her. She's going to be ruthless. She's going to be evil, just like me. I mean, I wanted my boy to be the evil one, but I'll settle for my daughter. Like, fuck this kid. I'm going to banish this motherfucker, and he's going to go on a wild goose chase, and he ain't going to find shit.
the nature and versus nurture thing is interesting because when Toph became a mom, the way her parents taught her, she was a completely different mom with her,
She was the opposite.
and
She
in the
literally
book-
let her kids do everything they wanted.
yeah, and the children ended up hating her. So
What?
yeah,
That's literally, wow. But we literally had this conversation before
Yeah.
about you and us being parents. Like,
Right.
Jesus Christ.
everyone hates everything, whatever. So we pretty
That's-
much covered everything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The show is excellent. Is 10 out of 10. Is was ahead of its time. My rating for Korra is 1 out of 10. It's like a
11.
7.
A
What's
7.
Yeah.
Korra.
Yeah, because I prefer the Last Airbender than Korra. What's your take on the Last Airbender from 1 to 10?
A 9.5 because of the small things I complain about. But again, those are small things that literally didn't ruin the show for me.
So if you guys have any comments, let us know. Do you think Yoshi actually killed that guy? Do you think Aang was a pussy for not wanting to kill the Fire Lord? Do you think that Sokka was actually the most misogynistic weakling ever? I will be in touch with you guys in the comment section.
Put it all in the comments if you all think these statements, or if you don't think these statements.
Let us know.
Let us know. Say bye to the subscribers, Kenny. Say bye, Kenny.
Bye, Kenny.
Let me just end this shit. God damn it. Whew, man, that Kenny was such an asshole.